I don't know if this might look a bit sketchy because I'm filming in 4K, just because I just spotted something and I wanted to try and, post-edit, enhance the image. It's weird. It's not early in the morning, it's just Sunday. Some kind of race on today, I'm not even sure what it is. But this is really, really quiet. Like the quietest possibly you'll ever see it. This is really sketchy in 30 frames a second, I'm so sorry. Look at Big Ben, right? But just note, bearing in mind that I'm quite a visual person and I've seen this thing a lot. There's some kind of you can see right through it, just on one side. Can you see that? And I know that, I'm going to go back to normal, hang on. Can you tell the difference between 30 and 60? I bet you can. I'm a suspicious person, obviously, so I don't know. They're refitting Big Ben. It's going to be completely covered in scaffold. They're already doing something to the inside. It might be just completely innocent. But being a suspicious person, I'm thinking, God, I hope they're not fitting it out for some kind of London is falling massive explosive thing. The whole thing's at some point just going to... It's so expensive to maintain. It's such a white elephant, and it's not appropriate. It is an anachronism, that building, Even Winston Churchill, when he was alive, would say things like, young politicians go into the building thinking that they're going to affect politics. But what actually happens is that politics, or the building itself, affects them. And he meant with instills in them the imperial attitude because of its outrageously imperial design and all of its features, which are obviously based on ancient forms of archetypal architecture, which do actually change the soul, or that's what they thought at the time of the Enlightenment anyway. Let's hope they're not planning on just getting rid of it in a big yellow cloud. That'd be quite sad. I'd like to see it just turn into a museum. I'd also like the current political system and the structure that it is also cast to where it should be, which is a museum. That's thought for the morning. And later, I think, we're going to talk about Saudi Arabia. I don't know. That guy. Get in the fish's mouth, mate. You are fish food. I just fancied finding somewhere really quiet. Very difficult. That cyclist was thinking about coming down here. This is my road, love. Okay? It's not really my road. Coburg Lodge. Just sort of in the middle of nowhere. SW1, if you can be in the middle of nowhere, SW1. I don't know. So it's an interesting concept I've been thinking about. Reading all the stuff about the possibility of another election is interesting, really, for a couple of reasons. If you think about it, the DUP, and how possibly they like to channel money, possibly can only happen at the time of a referendum or an election. So in a lot of ways, the calling of a new election is going to work for the Conservative Party very much, because they get to funnel more illegal funds, possibly from Saudi Arabia, because of course there is what's it called, the Constitutional Consultative Committee or something. I can't even remember the name. I'll print it on the screen. A weird organisation that doesn't really exist, by which money is channeled through Northern Ireland to the Conservative Party or whatever. Possibly, coming from Saudi Arabia, possibly. Just like Hillary Clinton's campaign was partly funded by Saudi Arabia, maybe Theresa May's campaign is partly funded by Saudi Arabia. Is that something to worry about? I think possibly yes. That is definitely something that we should be worrying about, especially as it's seen that Saudi Arabia are possibly the ones who are fueling and funding terrorism, other than Qatar, apparently. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, it's really interesting actually when you think about it. If they were to call another election, a lot of people, especially on Reddit and stuff, they're saying, oh, they need to call another election now because this time Labour will actually win and Jeremy Corbyn will actually win. And a lot of people are saying that, and it sounds okay, but then when you really look at the finer details and you're trying to think outside of the box, you realise that if there was another election and everybody decided to vote for Labour to really get rid of the Conservative Party, I'm really looking for somewhere quiet. Oh, just round the corner from Channel 4 actually. You ever seen Channel 4 before? I don't know. No, to hell with that. You don't want to see Channel 4, it's boring. Yeah. Because the only way that Labour actually were as successful as they were in the previous election was because everybody who was going to be voting Green and everybody who was going to be voting UKIP and Lib Dems and whoever, a lot of people strategically voted for Labour. So in a lot of ways the Labour success is a complete illusion, because presumably a lot of those people who are hardcore Greens or hardcore Lib Dems will carry on voting for Lib Dem later on down the line. But you see, if they formed a new election now or in a couple of months' time, what it would essentially do is, like, all those people who were supporting the Greens and the Lib Dems, they would be voting for Labour and therefore actually exorcising the Parliament from any Green, Lib Dem and whatever MPs. So essentially what you would create is a Parliament almost completely made up of Conservatives and versus Labour, blue versus red. A kind of two-party system, that's what it would create. In the resistance of Theresa May, they're basically going to be creating a system that is similar to the one that is run in the United States. The true two-party system, blue and red. That's what would happen if another election had. It's not really a success for Labour at all. It's a success for the Conservatives, because they have basically then forced into existence a parliament that is made up of supposedly the Labour Party, but people essentially who aren't really popular and wouldn't really be there if it wasn't for the fact there was strategic voting. So you've got like the Conservative Party made up of people who really like the Conservative Party or voted those people in, and then a Labour Party made up of lots of people who the general populace don't really want voted in at all, because they're not really Labour voters. So do we really want a completely two-party system? We don't want, you know, the variety of different types of people in Parliament. I don't know. It's a weird one, that. There's a couple of things I wanted to say that I forgot. I went past Borough Market today. I didn't manage to film because I was out in the middle of working, but I did check it out and all the barriers are still there. Apparently it's not opening Saturday. It didn't open on Saturday. It's not going to open today on Sunday. Apparently it's not even going to open until Tuesday, which is quite good actually, because I actually have the day off on Tuesday and I was planning on making a video for the main channel. So that may end up being it, you know, like bullet spotting on the main channel or whatever on Tuesday. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah. You see the articles about George Osborne being on the Andrew Marr show and talking about Theresa May, you know, being a woman, a dead woman standing, or whatever the hell he called her. I'm pretty sure that's actually part of the way to keep Theresa May in power. I mean, I'm no expert in game theory or anything, but I'm pretty sure that actually attacking somebody, especially as an editor for what is essentially like almost like a national newspaper, is part of the game that actually keeps Theresa May in power. And they say actually that Jeremy Corbyn, also the way that he's been acting, the sort of things that he's been doing, are actually going to keep Theresa May in power. So I don't think we're going to be seeing the end of Theresa May just yet. I think she might be in for the long haul. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow.